The Blue House Roundabout is a four-arm roundabout junction that is located in Newcastle upon Tyne. It connects Gosforth, Hadrick's Mill, Kenton, and the city centre. Thus, road users heavily use it as they travel to the nearby Freeman Hospital or to work in the close-by business parks. Over 33,000 vehicles use this junction every day, with an equivalent number of bus passengers. However, this roundabout layout has been in place for decades and suffers from regular congestion, inadequate public transport facilities, lack of cyclist and pedestrian facilities, as well as having the poorest safety record in Tyne and Wear. Within the 5-year period from the 1st of July 2011 to the 30th of June 2016, there has been a total of 95 collisions, which resulted in 143 casualties. These casualties include various road users as shown in the table, who have suffered injuries that are considered slight and severe. It is also important to note that there has been one fatality within that period, which involved an old age pensioner. In order to understand the current situation of the Blue House Roundabout, it is important to appreciate its geometric design limitations. Through the Advice Note 23/81, the Highways Agency set several recommendations over roundabout geometric design and their flow capacity. Moreover, it defines how the entry widths and flares and the angle of entry and its radius directly affect the capacity of any roundabout. The Advice Note recommends the use of the Kimber equation for calculating the ratio of flow to capacity, or RFC for short, aiming to obtain 85% results or lower for an economic design. Otherwise, rapid queue lengths and delays are generated. According to current data, only one of them has an RFC below 85%, and all of them will exceed this figure and even above 95% in the future, which stands for extreme queue lengths and delays. So the use of the RFC indicator demonstrates how the Blue House Roundabout needs proper modifications towards geometric design in order to provide an adequate response towards the current and future traffic load demands of local vehicles. In order to combat these problems and challenges, the City Council proposed a different layout, which is a much bigger roundabout than the current layout, with traffic lights controlling access to the system. It proposes separated, protected space for people on foot and for cyclists on most approaches to the junction, and will enable people on foot or bikes to either pass through the center of the roundabout or go safely around it using crossings set back from the roundabout depending on their choice of route. However, due to the size of this roundabout and the fact that many trees will have to be chopped down, it came under heavy criticism from the people living next to Town Moor. The plans were finally abandoned after 2,000 people attended a protest rally and tied ribbons around the trees which faced the chop. It is important to take into consideration all stakeholders involved, such as the bus operators, MPs, general residents, motorists, taxis, disabled groups, schools, and many others. There are different ways of engaging and communicating with stakeholders, such as the use of basic written information, social media, site visits, online information, and much more. The analysis and education of the stakeholders are necessary, especially the residents nearby the roundabout. Currently, meeting and blog for discussing new solutions are not useful for the radical changes planned for the Blue House Roundabout. In the future, how to enhance the willingness of residents for the radical changes is fundamental for the improvement of the Blue House Roundabout. As a group, we have developed 3 different options ranging in prices, from low, medium, and high-cost options in order to combat these issues. Our first option, which is our lowest cost option to improve this junction, is to introduce signalized pedestrian crossings. We have noticed the inadequate pedestrian crossing facilities, which are quite dangerous to not only cross, but to stand on, as they were quite narrow. Some of the cars did not slow down for us, as they were not legally obliged to, thus causing confusion on when to cross the road. According to Schultz et al. From 2015, the installation of a signalized crosswalk can facilitate an increase in safe street crossing and calm traffic volume and speed by 10%. Our second option, which is our medium cost option, is to introduce traffic calming measures and widening the central island. As shown earlier in the video, speeding and low visibility are an issue when it comes to collisions. What we recommend as our medium cost option is the installation of speed bumps, which forces cars to slow down before entering the roundabout. In addition, we recommend widening the central island so that the roundabout consists of 2 lanes rather than 3. This will force vehicles to drive slower once they are within the roundabout as well, which in return will not only make drivers pay more attention to vulnerable road users like cyclists, but will also lead to less severe injuries. Roundabouts, depending on their size, can cause problems for heavy goods vehicles and buses, as we witnessed 3 near misses all involving buses. Roundabouts are also known to cause safety concerns for cyclists, as Daniels and Wetz from 2008 state cyclists are 10 to 15 times more likely to be involved in collisions compared to car occupants in the UK. To combat these issues, our high-cost option is to remove the roundabout and convert the junction to a traffic signal-controlled intersection. This technique has proven its success in other junctions in Newcastle, such as the recently converted Cowgate junction, where cyclist collisions have been eliminated while overall collisions have been reduced by almost half. The inclusion of traffic signals allows local authorities to control traffic flow at each arm, thus ensuring that the junction remains fully operational while minimizing the risk of collisions. We are now showing a summarization of all the advantages and disadvantages of each of our options. In conclusion, we believe that option 3 is the best option. It has been shown that this option takes into consideration all road users and has the best ability to reduce collisions while also improving traffic flow. The traffic signals give local authorities the flexibility to control the traffic at each arm and to reduce collisions. Cyclists and pedestrians will also benefit as shown in other converted junctions such as the Cowgate and 4-lane ends junctions. Even though the increase in certain collision types due to the collision points might be an issue, we as a group believe that option 3 is the best, as the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, especially if the traffic signals are properly controlled and maintained.